And The Flash issue 782 is written by Jeremy Adams, with art by Fernando Pasarin and Matt Ryan, colors by Jeremy Cox and Peter Pentazis, and letters by Rob Lee. And this issue begins with Linda using her new super speed to type a chapter of her book when her kids come in wanting to go to the park, of which Linda agrees to take them. The book then cuts to Wally and Wallace West as they're involved in their conflict with Girder from the previous issue. And although the villain is strong, Wally comes up with an idea to magnetize Girder, which attracts the surrounding metal to him. The Flash then tells Kid Flash to come up with a way to transport Girder back to Iron Heights, and Kid Flash questions if one can outrun magnets. We then catch up with the West family at the park, in which Irie uses her powers to score a goal, and Jay uses his strength to kick the soccer ball. And it's because he uses powers that the ball goes a little further out, which causes Irie to run out into the street, which then in turn forces Linda to save her, thus revealing her super speed. Meanwhile, at Iron Heights Penitentiary, Kid Flash informs the guards that the Flash is coming in quick with Girder, and it's not long before they have him in lockup. Flash and Kid Flash are then greeted by Warden Gregory Wolfe, before Flash begins asking questions about Girder's escape. Warden Wolfe gives a quick explanation before rushing them out the door, adding to Wally's suspicion. He then takes Wallace back to his workplace, where they use the computer to uncover the schematics to Iron Heights, when we cut back to Girder and learn it was Warden Wolfe who actually freed him and sent the villain on a mission. Girder tells Wolfe that he's going to expose him, to which Wolfe just smirks and says, "You don't think he will." Wally and Wallace, in the meantime, are back at the speed lab, where Wallace is off-put by how dirty the lab is, to which Wally just brushes it off and says what they really came for were the stealth suits. Sometime later, the two return to Iron Heights and find their way into Warden Wolfe's office, where they discover he's running for mayor. The two then decide that they have enough information to get their investigation started, so they decide to leave when they come across Girder, who's now a crumbled ball of metal. Unfortunately, this slowdown caused them to set off the alarm, and although the two escaped, they were caught on camera by both Wolfe and Blacksmith. The issue then wraps up with Wally taking Wallace back to his place, where Linda attempts to tell him about her powers, when Wally gets a call from Detective Chimp and rushes out the door, leaving Wallace to get the news about Linda, leaving him stunned. And I'll say, I liked it, but I do have some reserves. Let's start with the positives, beginning with Wally and Wallace's chemistry. I really like it. I really like how they bounce dialogue off of each other. You know, you have all these little subtle things like Wally referring to Wallace as Ace, and even the details about getting the story behind that, how it's a nickname that, you know, Wally had given Wallace when they were growing up. Even though, I guess, on a technical note, Wallace didn't actually exist until prior to the New 52, which, you know, when you get in the whole, like, multiversal, like, time shifting new realities, and then there was the whole thing with, you know, Perpetua, and then they did the whole thing where it's, oh, now it's the Omniverse, and everything exists now, and it, you know, but hey, they work together really well. I like how when they were fighting against Girder, Wally's just sort of like, hey, what do you know about magnets? And, you know, they get the plan going, execute it, and accomplish the objective. And immediately following this, how Wally then told Kid Flash, hey, I came up with the first part of the plan, you can come up with the second part of the plan. I really like this because, you know, it's really setting up that, you know, teacher to student relationship, because in a way Wally is helping out Wallace. He's trying to get Kid Flash to think outside the box, so that, you know, someday when he grows up and he takes over the mantle as the Flash, you know, he'll maybe teaching another Kid Flash someday, and, you know, it's just another step in turning, you know, Wallace into an adult. And as well, I really like Wally's characterization as, you know, being the grease monkey that he is, effectively, when Wallace sees that the speed lab is a mess because Wally's been working on his car and stuff like that, you know. And for Wallace, it's like, you know, when he used to work with Barry, the speed lab was always clean. So again, it's a very interesting dichotomy, because as Kid Flash under Barry, Wallace was used to things going a certain way, and Wally, he's he's got his own way of doing things, and it just further differentiates the two. So yeah, these two together, really good stuff. I want to see more of it. Now, when it comes to the things I didn't like about this issue, it mainly had to do with Warden Wolfe. Because on one hand, I was a bit confused when Warden Wolfe was introducing himself to Wally as if he never met this Flash before, when in fact Warden Wolfe's first appearance was in the Flash Iron Heights under the Jeff Johns era. And when you break it down that way, he's a Wally West Flash villain. And as I previously mentioned, you know, some hokey stuff went around with, like, you know, time and universes and, you know, Perpetua and all that stuff. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, but as far as I'm aware, all of that stuff with Wally still happened in those runs. So yeah, it was a little bit weird. And then there's the bit where we find out that Warden Wolfe's big grand plan is to run for mayor, and I thought to myself, that's extremely unoriginal. You got the bad guy, he's running for a political office, i.e., you know, Kingpin in, you know, the Daredevil books and over in the Marvel universe, Lex Luthor running for president. I mean, from that one issue where we got the reveal of him going to Blacksmith saying, hey, that, you know, I need your help with some stuff, and just overall getting, you know, the reveal that, you know, it's just him wanting to run for mayor. Just, you know, again, it just feels uninspired, which definitely has been one of the bigger issues that I have had with Jeremy Adams' run. Whereas, you know, outside of a few issues here and there, a lot of these stories feel like I've read them before. And even then, when he tries to do something a little bit different, it just feels kind of safe. Which, one of the positives to that is I feel like these stories are probably always going to be, at the very least, good, but I do also feel as if that's keeping his run from being great. But who knows, maybe this whole thing with Warden Wolfe running and most likely getting his mayoral seat will lead to some interesting stories. Because if the overall objective is just to put Warden Wolfe in the mayor's seat, just for him to start making laws that's gonna make it harder for superheroes in Central City and whatnot, I'll be disappointed. I also found it kind of weird that Wally didn't really know how to use a computer inside of a lab that he works at and is, you know, probably worked at for, I'm guessing, the passage of time to be at least a few months. And to have Wallace kind of just push him over, call him grandpa, and do the computer and stuff, I'm like, where did he learn all that? Or at the very least, Wally has used the computers up in the Watchtower, which are highly advanced, you know, and I will say you could make the argument that Kid Flash got training on super advanced computers while attending the Teen Titans Academy. So I think at the very least, both should be adequate at using a computer like this. I mean, even within the context of this own series so far under Jeremy Adams, you know, Wally has been shown to be, you know, not say very smart, but, you know, still fairly intelligent. And when it comes to the art, I again think it was decent. It's not my favorite artwork for a Flash title, but I don't hate it, because the sections that have often been illustrated well have been the action sequences, and here the fight between Flash, Kid Flash, and Girder were my favorite pages. And I will say, I really liked the stealth suits, because there's something about every time a superhero comes in and, you know, he's got his outfit and stuff, and I think the outfit looks really cool. My first thought process is, does it come in black? And overall, the Flash issue 782, I think, does a really good job again at giving us more Wally West, Wallace West dynamic. It's just the setup with the plans and Warden Wolfe and stuff. It just, again, feels unoriginal. And with that, I'm going to score the Flash issue 782 a 7 out of 10. So the Flash issue 782, what did you think about this book? If you've read it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.